I've never done a reaction video before. This is my first time doing a reaction, and I hope I pull it off beautifully, because I don't know, I can be expressive though, but let's just dive in. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sefi. So today we're going to be doing all things bookish. That's the usual fashion on this channel, of course. Bookish stuff, book recommendation, book review. Today we're going to be doing a book review and also a trailer review or reaction, not review. Either reaction is a much better term. Reaction to the Netflix adaptation of Sefi Atta's book Swallow. This book is produced by a household name in the Nigerian industry. That's the person of Kunle Afolayan. Kunle Afolayan is someone that is loved by a lot of people in Nigeria because he has made movies that kept tongues wagging. I am talking about movies like Citation, October 1st, and now a lot. The names are actually a lot of names, a lot of movies. Now he's going to be doing Swallow. And yes, that's the name of the book as well, title of the book as well, Swallows, the title, also the title of the movie. And we're expecting this movie to come out October 1st. I feel happy that this is something we can hold on to as we wait for the Secret Lives of Baba Sege's Wives, which is by Lola Shonayin. We're still expecting that one on Netflix, but it's yet to come. So while we wait, we can enjoy Swallow, the adaptation of Swallow on Netflix as well. So I'm going to just read out the description of this book. This book, I feel it's fitting that this book was adapted because it's highly relatable. Even though it was set in 1980s Nigeria, it's also highly relatable, and I feel that Nigerians are going to enjoy this book because there are a lot of moments where you would laugh with this underlying feeling of sadness when you read the book. I hope that they were able to portray that in the movie. Okay, I'm just going to talk about the book first, then we're going to talk about all the things we're expecting in the from the movie, and all of that will just come up later. So first, let's talk about the description. The description of this book says, so first, this author, Sefi Atta, which we love. If you're a returning subscriber, we love Sefi Atta on this channel, of course. We read Everything Good Will Come last year, I think, and we thoroughly enjoyed it, right? So we're going to just read out, I'm just going to read out the description instead of me deviating all the time. It is the mid-1980s in Lagos, Nigeria, and the government's war against indiscipline is in full operation. Amid poverty and tight rules and regulations, women especially must sacrifice dignity and safety in order to find work and peace. Tolani Ajao is a secretary working at Federal Community Bank. A succession of unfortunate events leads Tolani's roommate and volatile friend, Rose, to persuade her to consider drug trafficking as an alternative means of making a living. Tolani's struggle with temptation forces her to reconsider her morality and that of her mother, Arike. Swallow weaves the stories of the two women intricately together in a vivid, unforgettable portrayal of Tolani's turbulent journey of self-discovery. So from the description, we can tell that the book is set in Lagos, Nigeria. So there's a backdrop of the very ever-busy city of Lagos that keeps, according to the book, it keeps giving and giving and gets nothing in return, because Lagos is like it's an open arms, welcomes you with an open arms. Yes, so it keeps giving and giving and giving and giving and giving. But I don't agree with that statement. If I'm just going to chip that in, Lagos does not just keep giving and giving and takes nothing in return. That's a lie. I totally disagree with that quote from the book. However, the story is told from Tolani's point of view, and she's the main character in the story. So Tolani is one of the mining migrants. She came from a Yoruba village or town to Lagos city, and Tolani is working as a secretary from the description at this bank. And this is a time that is marred with coup and counter coup, because this was during the era of the military regime, and there's a lot of corruption, which is almost paradoxical, because on one hand the government is preaching oh, war against indiscipline. And on the other hand, there's a lot of indiscipline. There's a lot of corruption in high places, low places, everywhere there's corruption. There's poverty, there's strikes looming, and just poverty, stress. Everyone knows how Lagos can be really stressful, and we see it in the day-to-day lives of Tolani and Rose, who have to commute to their bank every morning, go through the bus drivers, the chaos, the struggle to get a bus and everything. It's all played out in this book, and I cannot wait to see it recreated in the movie as well. Despite this stress, everything that's going on, because this book is actually kind of centered on women, like this, which is the usual fashion for Sefi Atta. She always creates this really beautiful array of female characters that are so well written, because you see them in different spheres of life and you just have to understand their story and see things from women's point of view. So despite all the stress, the women also have to deal with issues of women have to also deal with issues of marriage, childbearing, sexual harassment, of course. And we see these women tackling these things in their day-to-day lives one way or the other. We see Rose with all her abusive boyfriends and really weird tasting men. Most of the time she talks about it. This character who is really blunt, and she just talks about it, and she have advised her friend Tolani times that number to give her boyfriend an ultimatum, because they've been together for quite a while and it was time for him to put a ring on it. And Tolani surprisingly followed that advice. But you have to see the movie or read the book to know how that panned out. And we also see women in different spheres. We see Rose, like I mentioned. We see Tolani, who is moralistic in her dealings. She's always going through the right way. She's someone who says, okay, I have to do the right thing so that to avoid some certain consequences. And her life also woven with her mother, because most of the steps she took in her life, she remembers one story or tale that her mother told her in the past. And so I don't know, I feel like when it's created in the movie, it's going to be like a flashback. I don't know, I love to see how that will be created as well in the movie. Tolani's mother is into cloth making. That's Adire that's being sold everywhere now. I see Adire everywhere and I love it so much. So I'm hoping to see that as well. I'm hoping to see a lot of 1980s fashion in this movie. I'm just dropping that in, because even though the main character is broke, even though she doesn't like to admit that she's broke, but she says she loves shoes and she loves fashion, even though it's like cheap clothes she had to wear, but she loves to look good. So I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of 1980s fashion, Nigeria in the 1980s. I'd love to see that fashion. The major theme in this book is just, to me, is just that deep feeling of hopelessness, when you feel really hopeless to the pit of your stomach. But there's something that there's another quote that I love in this book that made me smile. There are lots of quotes that a Nigerian will pick up this book and can relate to it. That when the character, when I think Tolani was one who said that, she said, perhaps that was a real blessing about living in Lagos. There was no time to dwell. You just have to keep moving and keep moving and keep moving, even despite the deep feeling of hopelessness that you feel. And this book is actually trying to tell us, how much can you take? How far are you willing to be pushed against the wall to stand your ground and say, okay, no, I'm not going to do the wrong thing. How far are you going to stand your ground to maintain your sanity? That's really what this book is talking about. Because at a point, after everything has gone south and the friends felt like, okay, this is it, we have to stand up and do something for ourselves so we can make money. Summing up everything I'm about to say is that it just shows the resilience of especially Nigerian women, because Sefi Atta always goes through the feminine approach. So especially the resilience of Nigerian women, there were a lot of absurd things that happen in this book that women take on a daily basis. Really absurd things. And I hope that the producers will be able to interpret this so that the viewers can see and understand, have a glimpse of what it feels like And there are a lot of quotable quotes or lines that I love from his book so much that I wish that it will be imputed in the movie. And I already read one out, the one where I said perhaps that was a real blessing about living in Lagos. There was no time to dwell. Then I also love what Alaro, Arike's aunt, said to her, but he's not, and just trying to paint a picture. Arike was trying to say that, the husband, the guy she liked is not Christian. So she was trying to tell her aunt, because that was a time where people were embracing Christianity in African societies in Nigeria. So if you're not Christian, you are considered a heathen, because people were already abandoning the old ways. So she said to her auntie, but he's not a Christian. And her auntie answered, none of us here are, if we're still scared of juju. I love this line so much. It made me laugh hard. Nigerians will understand this. It made me laugh so much, honestly, because it's so true. It's one of the most honest lines in this book, and I wish that it said in the movie. And also when she said, frowning, laughing, crying, smiling, there was no normal way to react to the news that people died, unnecessary deaths, avoidable deaths, ridiculous deaths, African deaths. I love that line because, again, it's so true, so honest. Another line or quote I loved from the book is, I left thinking even Jesus himself had to wonder, it would be glorious if he did return just to Nigeria for a brief moment to say, look here, leave me out of this. God himself had to be watching over us and wondering what on earth is going on down there. If you've been to Lagos, Nigeria, or anywhere in Nigeria, you would understand, you would fully relate to this quote. Then another one that was repeated in the book is lies hide between words, and the truth need not draw attention to itself. I really love this, and it was repeated in the book, I think twice. I don't remember, but it was repeated in the book. So I look forward to seeing these lines imputed in the full movie, because I feel that it's something that Nigerians should ruminate on, because I found this book kind of sad, because even though it was set in the 1980s, and I know that this was an era that I was not born in, but I could relate to a lot of things that were being said in the book. Same thing I said about Everything Good Will Come. The fact that it's set in the 80s, but one who was born in the 90s can thoroughly relate to it. And we're in 2021. So let's just watch the trailer now and react to it. I've never done a reaction video before. This is my first time doing a reaction, and I hope I pull it off beautifully, because I don't know, I can be expressive though, but let's just dive in.
War against indiscipline. This is meant to introduce sanity into our lifestyle.
If I date a friend man like this, 6 months, you never marry me, you never do anything, I'm gonna date other people.
Even Rose go, ó ti sọ pé kí n fún ẹ ní 6 months maximum, pé tó o bá ti gbà kí máa lọ jẹ́jẹ́ tèmi. Have you heard?
Salako sacked Rose.
What?
Mr. Salako has requested that he be transferred.
Why you not tell us you don't want to do the job?
How?
They touch you, so you're going to get used to that one too. God forbid. Women like me and you will not ever get justice for this country.
Mommy, not Chidi.
Warrant is due.
See your hair rough, Sam. Very untidy.
Which kind of work you they do where you they make all this money? You see, they smuggle drugs.
Everybody's carrying drug, wanting to be rich. Now.
Tell him I'm willing to try.
Where
are we going, Sef?
Na London.
Okay. Now I'm excited. Now I'm pretty excited to watch this movie because there are a lot of things that I was not expecting that they're going to cut out. Like there's a part where one of the neighbor's child was thought to have fallen into the soak away pit in the compound where um Tolani was living in, and I just saw the people gathered. I love that scene so much because it was like a ray of hope or light in that book, because there were a lot of things that were just really stressing me out in the book at that time. And when I read that scene, I was really happy to my heart. I was so happy that the boy, okay, just watch it yourself and find out. I look forward to this movie. Yeah, I really do. And Niola is actually the main character. She's playing Tolani, which is interesting. I have never seen Niola in a movie before. I only know her for her music. I like her song Too Bad. I would love to see her acting, because also to Kunle Afolayan afforded us the opportunity to see what's her name? Is it Temi Otedola? Yes, Temi Otedola in Citation last year, and she was really brilliant. I can't wait to see what Niola has to. But I can't wait to see what Niola is going to do in this movie. I'm pretty excited. Mm-hmm. I can. Okay. I saw how I'm I'm pretty I'm lost for words because I'm excited, and I can see that Kunle took his time. I saw the NTA on the screen. I saw the old Naira notes, the Nigerian Airways. I'm seeing some bit of um 80s fashion here as well. So yeah, let's see how it plays out come October 1st. Let's believe I'm going to do a movie review of that, of Swallow, when it comes out October 1st. So stay tuned to this channel. Like, share, subscribe, do the needful. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Or night. Goodbye.